Oh my God. We are live. We are live. Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of, I was going to say the Action Movie Guys podcast. That's coming soon. We are coming back soon. Trust me, we're going to have fun when we come back live. With that said, welcome to a brand new Beyond Cinema with me, Alex, and Nate. It's been 3 weeks. This is the last live stream. We're going to be, well, not the live stream, but the last franchise series rankings we're going to be doing for a very long time. 2026, when we come back, we're going to have new shows for you guys. We're going to be adding a brand new live stream. So we'll be doing 2 every other week. We're going to be coming back. So that's going to be fun. But for right now, we're going to do the final franchise ranking. We're going to be doing with the Rambo franchise, which is very interesting franchise when we sit down there and watch through. But anyway, with that said, Nate, how have you been?
Oh man, I've been good. I've been working like crazy because they finally let us do overtime. You know me, I'm an overtime kind of guy, so I've been working a lot. But I want to say it was very smart. I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back for scheduling the Rambo franchise now when we have all this overtime, because these movies were short and it was easy to get through them. I got them through in one day, no problem.
They were very short. I mean, I finished this thing by Wednesday, and I had you had my rankings like mad quick. They were very short. Now we have JoJokersMovies. He's in the green room ready. Once we bring him in, we bring him in. We just want to get some stuff off. So like I said, so what's going to happen for December, we're going to do normal stream where I'm going away to Florida. So I'm going to meet up with Nate in Florida. But I'm going away from Florida for Christmas vacation with the family. Yeah. So
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, so we're going to do some fun sit-downs with a lot of people to end out the year for the channel. And then when we kick back in 2026, it's going to be a brand new live stream from front to back. New segments. We're going to be bringing back I enjoyed segments, so we're going to be doing segments-based shows. A lot of discussions. We're going to bring new faces to the platform. So I've talked to a lot of new faces, I'm going to be honest with you. So it's going to be fun bringing those in. But not only physical media stuff. There's going to be a lot of entertainment stuff. Me and the wife has been going out, enjoying movies. So this is the first year that I've been going to the theaters and I've been enjoying it. So me and Nate are going to bring back the original format, but just 10 times more remodeled. We're going to be doing some box office numbers. We're going to break down some new releases, old releases, maybe do some type of segment that meshes with everyone, and then bring in some new faces that we can sit down and talk. You get to see their channels and see what people like. So with that said, how you doing, everyone that's live? What's up, Travis Mitchell, right? That's a new guy.
Thank you.
Nothing is over. That's right. Nothing is
with
over.
A little knife.
That's right. I love it. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for the donation. You know what? This is a new program, so I can now add it to the thing. Now you can see it. So thank you so much,
Travis.
Thank you so much.
First of all, let's say greetings to Jay. Jay's in chat. What's up, Jay?
Yeah.
Evan, welcome. Travis, welcome. Thank you for the donation. Keep in mind, anytime anyone sends one of those, if you put a question in it, we'll definitely read it. But I try to. Oh, you guys are ready.
Yeah.
This is like our millionth show. I will always read the chat. But if you want something specifically answered, and you put
feel free.
And if you don't, feel free. Yeah. We know it doesn't matter. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So today's we're going to be doing the entire Rambo franchise. Memberships, I would like to say, we do have memberships. We have $2 membership tiers that will guarantee you to watch any exclusive video that me and Nate put out. You guys have access to it. We have a $5 tier that gives you access to everything that we have. I'm working on it as much as, there's so much I can do. I'm trying to get as much. I've been doing a lot of the members exclusive. I didn't do one for this Saturday, so what happens is with the $5 tier, you could pick whatever 4K you want me to review. I didn't get to do bins. I already finished bins. I have to put it together. I just had a personal family issue that I have been dealing with. Nate knows, but I didn't have time to record. So I've been pulled in every direction, but I will. But so far you have the movie Heat. You have The Fugitive. That is all available for members exclusive. And then the next one, which is by Ben Buster, his is Billy Madison, the 4K by Kino Lorber. I did the regular 4K versus that. And then Robert Makes the Cut chose Shin Godzilla, which I'd never seen. So that's going to be fun. My wife loves Godzilla, so I'm going to purchase it, then do the 2 4Ks. Yeah, so anyway, with that said, those are there for you guys. But let's have fun. Let's bring in Scott. I haven't seen Scott or talked to Scott in a while. I mean, we always text each other, but let's bring him
Not in person, though.
I never seen him in person. Look at that guy right there. What's up, Scott? How you doing?
His Yao Ming shirt. Man. I thought it was Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
Charles Sheen.
Charles Sheen.
Nothing much, man. I've been, like you guys said earlier, when you said it's an easy franchise to get through, you weren't lying, because for the past 2 months, I've been working till 10 o'clock at night every work night. So I get home and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, here we go. We got to get through these. And I'm like, thank God they're all like an hour and 30.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is like when me and you talked, it's hilarious because I'm like, dude, you're all right? And you're like, dude, I'm coming home now. I'm taking the shower.
Yeah. Gotta pop it in.
Yeah, I gotta pop in First Blood. No, but before we get started, we'll go around the bout here. We'll give a little people the history of the Rambo franchise and how we watched them and what we enjoy. Don't give the rankings or nothing if you hate or like it. Just give a knowledge of your perspective of the franchise and what you think about it before we get into the box office numbers, and then we start breaking these suckers down into one a piece, each film down. So, Scott, since you're the guest, what was your initial reaction, or because I know Last Blood is the first time you ever watched, so yeah, but your 1 through 4. What? Yeah, before you talk about 5, don't worry about 5. Just give us your 1 through 4, and what was your knowledge with it, or your stuff.
So out of all of them, I've seen the first one the most. The second and the third one I've seen maybe twice in my life. And the fourth one I've seen, I think, just about as many, like maybe 2 times. So as far as this, I know it's like Stallone's other baby, because his first baby is like Rocky, because that came out first, and then that submitted him as that guy, and now he came out with Rambo, and all I know about it is I think he fell in love with the book for First Blood, and then it just like took off from there, because I know there was a novel about it first.
Yeah.
So
wait a second, you're saying this was your first time watching Last Blood?
Yes.
Yeah, he never seen Last Blood.
I thought Alex was saying that you've only ever seen Last Blood.
No. He never seen Rambo Last Blood, but he saw the 1 through 4. He just never seen this.
Yeah, I've seen 1 through 4, but out of all of them, I've seen First Blood the most.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was confused. That's why I yelled. What? Because I was like, you've only ever seen Last Blood?
No. He never seen part 5, but everything else he's seen. All right, Nate.
Yes.
What is your experience with the Rambo?
Well, we did all the Rambo films on the Action Movie Guys podcast. So me and Alex, however, those were like super early episodes. We did this franchise like in the first like 50 episodes or so. It got to be. Yeah. It was. I feel like it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
exactly, and we're closer to 500 than we are to 100 now. So
yeah,
that was the last time I watched them. I don't rewatch. You guys know I don't rewatch movies all the time. I try to watch as many new movies as I can. So the last time I saw them was for that. Before that, the only one I had seen at the theater was 4. These came out before I was born. I think Rambo 3. I might have been born when that came out, but I'm not gonna go to the movie.
Like
I'm
an
infant. Yeah, I was 1. So I've only seen 4 and 5 at the theater, but I did not see them in order. So like I didn't see like 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5.
Right.
I actually saw 1, then 4. Then when we did the Action Movie Guys podcast, I watched those were like first time watches for the other 2. I saw 5 at the theater, but yeah, so I don't have like this is not a go-to franchise for me, but I've seen the first one and the fourth one the most, for sure.
Yeah, for myself, it's funny. Growing up, I never watched part 1, First Blood. I was always known to watch, like, growing up, Part 2. Rambo 2 with the explosive arrows. And I was like, as a kid, I thought those were cool. He had the explosive arrows. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Then watching 3, which I'll talk about. But yeah, and then growing up, me and my wife went to see Rambo 4. And that was really my first Rambo movie I saw in the theater. And I remember coming out of that thing like I wanted to sign up for Vietnam. I was like, yes. I was like, I want to come back home and I want to look like Rambo, like that old. Yes. Like, dude, like literally, my wife was like, yo, you're so dumb. Like, I literally came out of there and I was like, yo, when I hit 50, I want to be this jacked and I want to grab cobras and like have a boat and just like sell. Like, I was like, this dude is just so jacked and like, I loved it. I was like, man, this movie was dope. And I remember the theater. The theater was not as heavy packed like Rocky Balboa was, but it was a significant amount of older people like watching it and, you know, enjoying themselves if they did or didn't. I don't remember the reaction, but I remember there was like a lot of us and I was just like, man, this movie's beautiful. Loved it. Then Rambo 5 I saw in the theater and I was like, okay, whatever. It didn't need to be 5s, but I was like 4. I always thought 4 was the perfect ending to the franchise. But yeah.
Do you guys remember before Part 5 came out that they were talking about like doing a Rambo Predator crossover or something where he was gonna like fight a creature or something like that?
I'll
like,
tell
it was
you
gonna
this.
be a sci-fi tinged thing.
I will tell you this. If you tell me my man Stallone's going to be in a Predator franchise, Rambo versus Predator, I'll be the first one signing up to go to that theater to see my boy Rambo go up against a Predator.
If we think about it, his strength is in the jungle warfare and stuff like it kind of would work.
It would, but he's Dutch at the end of the day. He's Stallone. I mean, he's Arnold because they're both the same. No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, he'll be the same as Dutch, but you're right. I mean, if you give me John Rambo versus a Predator, oh, mamacita, and then he got, I would love it. My man would be like, give me the Claymore.
I remember it was a thing when they were initially, before 5 came out. Like, it was a rumor or an idea where they were like, maybe he's going to fight a creature in the jungle. Or I was like, that, honestly, that sounds kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do it.
No, not now. I mean, at his prime. I mean, if it was like, and if it was him at his Rambo 4 stage, if that's like older, like he's already seasoned, and then the Predator comes in and he comes, bro, you could sign me up all day, bro. Oh, I can see my man yelling in the jungle. Yo! Yo, alien! Yes! Imagine he grabs the Predator and puts him in a tree. Don't push it. I could have killed you.
I could have killed you right there.
I could have killed you back there. Don't push it.
Killing's as easy as breathing.
Oh, dude, that's my scene right there, bro. Oh, I get hype. Yeah.
Imagine.
He killed my team. And now.
Real quick, going to the chat. Tony's here. What's up, Tony? Triborough's here. What's up, Triborough? Evan says, and I don't know this, Evan said, just want to mention, I love the Rambo cartoon as a kid.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Must have been before my time.
You won't like it. It's a bootleg G.I. Joe. But,
well, he loved
you
it,
won't like it.
I'm sure you loved it. Travis says, my mother took me to see Rambo 4 when I was about 8 years old, not knowing what she was in for. That was an experience.
Oh.
Jay says, damn, I forgot it was a cartoon. Triborough says, I grew up on the first 3 Rambo films. Really love those movies. Rambo vs. Predator would have been great back in the day. Travis says, I would honestly love John McClane versus a Predator. If it bleeds, it can die hard. That's a good title.
It can bleed, it can die hard.
I like that. I actually like that. And then Trevor said
true.
Rambo cartoon came on weekday mornings in the 80s. Okay,
yeah, it did. Yeah.
I'm a 90s kid. I don't know about that.
That would be, oh man, that would be dope. See, now you got me on.
Imagine if there was like live free or die hard, a good day to die hard, and then if it bleeds, it could die hard. That is the 6th title. That's amazing.
It goes action, sci-fi, action to end the whole thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yippee-ki-yay.
We're doing all this other stuff with the Predator. Why not?
That's true. I mean, that would be pretty dope, though.
20th Century Fox. It's the same studio, Die Hard and Predator. What? Make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, Rambo's not 20th Century Fox. I forgot who they were.
No,
Lionsgate? Was it?
Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Now it's Lionsgate. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know who it was before. Maybe MGM.
Carolco, and then one of those, and then the first one was like a little like
independent film
that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I think it was TriStar. But you know what? I'm about to answer that question because we're about to see the studio, the budget, and the money. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's the budget for the entire franchise. We're going to go one by one and see which ones are shocking. But we're going to give you the entire box office numbers, the budget, the companies that put out these movies, and if they should have not even continued it. But with that said, let's check out these budgets. Okay. Starting off with, all right, so the franchise in itself made $818 million. So that's not bad. Close to $1 billion. Yeah. So starting off from 1982, we got First Blood. Production cost of $14 million, made a worldwide of 125. That is called a successful film to a lot of people. And people said they wanted more Rambo. So 3 years later, in the year of Rocky IV, they came out with Rambo First Blood Part 2. $44 million, and it grossed $300 million. Now, for those of you out there, when you see the credits, it says Sylvester Stallone, written by Sylvester Stallone and James Cameron. But James Cameron and Stallone started clashing due to the writing, and he just said, you know what, you two, whatever the hell you're going to do. And Stallone said, I'll do what I got to do. And he went and did his stuff. So, next thing you know, it made a huge success, and the studio said, brother, I'm going to give you guys more money. So this is the most highest budget in the franchise, $58 million in 1988 for Rambo 3. And it made a disappointment $188 million. Now, that is technically a success.
Yes.
If you look at it, but still a failure compared to part 2.
It made profit. The problem is it cost more than the last one and made less than the last one. So while it still made money, whereas one maybe they made $200 million on the last movie, maybe now on this one they only made $80 million profit or something like that.
It was on a decline.
Yes.
Correct. And also you got to keep in mind the fact that this had a $58 million budget in 88 and the Last Blood had a 50 in 2019. Those are not equivalent. That 58 and 88 is probably like well over 100 million in like modern money. So it was like very expensive to make considering that.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Yeah. Years later, they went, oh my God. Stallone was in his basement and said, I could do one more of these puppies. And in 2008, he said, this is going to be great. And he made Rambo. So $47.5 million budget. It made a box office numbers of $113 million. I mean, now that's a successful movie, but it's still kind of a semi-flop. So what do you think, Nate, of the Rambo numbers?
Yeah. I mean, it made money. I wouldn't call it a flop. It just wasn't like... Actually, though, I remember when that came out, they were happy with what it made just because there had been such a layoff. Like, look, just 20 years in between movies. It fits the double the budget, test. And I think it did really well on home video as well.
And physical media, too?
Yeah. So I think it turned a profit, but nothing as big as the first two, really. Those two were like the juggernauts.
All right. Well, guess what? They said, wow, 4 was so good. They waited another decade or so to come out in 2019. They decided to do Rambo Last Blood. Now, this was $50 million budget and a worldwide of $91 million. Now, this is the lowest of the franchise in terms of box office numbers. Rambo Last Blood. So, Scott, what do you think of those numbers?
I think by Last Blood, everybody was Rambo'd out, even with the gap. But I think it's impressive that Rambo 4 still brought people in 20 years later and still made, more than what his budget was to be a successful movie. But I'm not surprised. It's pretty cut and dry between First Blood to Rambo 3 on you went up, you made a lot of money on the second one, then you went again. Then it kind of started declining, so then they backed off, and then 20 years later, it was still impressive that they made that much money to double the budget.
Yeah. Nate, with the Rambo Last Bleu?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, let's be honest, this is not like a disaster by any means, but that well was dry at this point. I mean, Stallone is very older, very old at this point than he was in the last movies. I don't think they were like upset per se, but there's a reason. Well, not just his age, but there's a reason that we're not going to ever. I mean, it should have never existed in the first place. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it made money overall, but not a lot.
All right. Well,
I have the studios.
Oh, I was just gonna say the distributors.
Well, you have two. So you have like the production who produced the thing, and then who distributed the movie. So the first film was Carolco, which I mentioned. They were big in the 80s. They did a lot of. I think they were involved in Terminator, a bunch of these like 80s action movies, and it was distributed by Orion Pictures. The second movie was also Carolco. And then it was TriStar, which I think Alex, you might have mentioned. TriStar distributed it. Okay, Rambo 3 was Carolco and TriStar as well, and then 4 and 5 were both Millennium Media production company distributed by Lionsgate.
Yep.
I believe Lionsgate now holds all the distribution rights. So I know in the chat, Tony said Rambo's owned by Millennium Media, but they produce the films, yes, but as far as like any releases or any
like copyright,
yeah. Well, it always gets weird when you get into all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Lionsgate's the ones who put out if you see a Blu-ray, if you see whatever. Millennium Media doesn't do any of that. They just produce the film, like make the film. So.
All right.
Anyway, TriStar, that was a part of Columbia Pictures, and Sony. So they probably should have stayed there. I mean, Lionsgate is a big studio, but...
So it's weird here. So it says Millennium Media has been the primary owner of the rights since 2005 after the rights were sold to New Image and Millennium Films following the bankruptcy of Carolco Pictures. Then Lionsgate recently secured a deal with Millennium Media to take over global distribution rights for the new Rambo projects and a lead role in the producing future TV series. So I guess there's a Rambo TV series coming. Sylvester Stallone does not own the rights, but continues to profit through back-end payments, though he is not involved in the new prequel project. And the Recon Holdings is a Chinese company acquired a 51% stake in Millennium Media in 2017. So that's where all the rights is right now. So there you guys have it.
Tony loves Millennium Media, even though they make a lot of bad movies. But Tony, our buddy from the chat over there, loves Millennium Media.
Yeah, he likes that one a lot. All right, so with that said, let me bring him. I know some people wrote some stuff here. Boop. Here we go. Travis says it's pretty well known, but part of why Rambo 3 was so expensive was the director. Let me click it again. Was the director and a lot of the crew were fired during production and had to be replaced. So yeah, so that sucks. And then he also said we saw with Fast and the Furious 10 firing one director and hiring a new one dooms a film's profitability. So yeah,
it's pretty rare that you fire a director mid-movie or after production starts, and then it turns out good. It almost never... I don't know of many examples where it turns out good. It's pretty much always bad.
Well, the only one that I could think of would be Tombstone. Like, they had the director, and then Kurt Russell, supposedly the legend is Kurt Russell, and the entire cast filmed that one. But anyway, with that said, let's start it all off with the first one. Ooh. First Blood, 1982. That's when it came out. Now, this one is a pretty simple storyline. He goes to see his friend. Then he's walking along the paved road with his clothes. He goes down to a small little town, wanted some ham and eggs. And the cop said, "You can't eat here, buddy. We don't need no drifters. So get in the car, and we're going to put you... we're going to put you in the bridge."
Jacket with that flag.
Yeah, with the flag. And then next thing you know, Stallone's like, "Why are you pushing me? I just want some ham and eggs." And then he's like, he's like, "You could get your ham and eggs 30 miles down the road." And then Stallone got out the car. Yeah, in Portland. And then he got out the car and he went, "Well, I could get ham and eggs down this way, or I could go 30 miles. And he said, "I'm going back to get me some ham and eggs." So the whole movie, really, to be honest with you, the cop was being a douche. All he wanted to do was eat. and he got picked on. So with that said, Scott, what do you think of the first movie after the rewatch? What do you think? Likes, pros, cons? What you got?
I well, I'm so bad at these because I try not to like spoil the ranking because that's later. But I would say First Blood has its own vibe that I think separates it from all the other movies. Like as far as the setting, the town, a lot of it has to do with the deputies and the sheriffs. Like they all play their roles so well. They're all macho a-holes and they hate to be wrong. And this movie is the poster boy for F around and find out because they found out. They found out. My boy Brian Dennehy, he found out. And he plays his role so well. And I like it's simple and badass and it's just a great film overall, I think, and it's got great ratings. It's well reviewed. Definitely one of the best when it comes to like memorable '80s action movies and characters.
Okay. All right. What you got, Nate? What do you got for First Blood?
Yeah. No, I agree. And there's something you said right there at the end, and that separates to me. It separates this movie from literally all the other 4 movies, and that's the characters. This is like a character-driven action film. It's not an action-driven action film, if that makes sense. Like the main reason that the movie's intriguing, is not because of all the explosions and the gunfire and the action itself. I feel like that's one thing this series kind of became, was that the action carried what you liked about it. Whereas here, this is a good story with good characters. Good written, because Brian Dennehy. Yes, I agree, Scott. He is great in this movie, but he's great because you hate him so much the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like he's a great villain. Then you have oh my God, why am I blanking on the name? The guy who's his general guy. That's his. What's his stupid name?
Galt or Art or whatever.
Richard Crenna plays him.
Sam.
Oh, Troutman.
Troutman, yes. You have him, and he's just pretty much there to let you know that Rambo's actually awesome and that these guys don't know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, y'all are in trouble. Let me help you. Get out of here. And you know what else too? I think all those things are true. I think Stallone is great in this movie. Quiet. He's like got that kind of quiet anger. But I think watching it now, this was a fun rewatch actually. Even though I watched them all in a day, it was kind of good just watching them all like in a row, because the movie has a lot to say about like veterans at the time coming. It was about a Vietnam War veteran, not only with the PTSD, but also like how he was treated, how soldiers were being treated by their own country that they went and fought for. Like this guy calls him a vagrant. We don't want vagrants walking around here. And the dude like served his country, but you won't let him eat at a diner because, you don't like him or whatever. So I think there's some good messaging in this. I think the performances are good. And I think this is the best shot. Like this one looks the most just like a good looking movie to me. Yeah. And not that the other ones are bad. Trust me, because we're going to get into them and there's highlights. But I just feel like overall it's a complete package of a film that has action. It probably has the least action out of all of the movies. Yet it's still an action movie. And it's really good. I really like this movie a lot.
Yeah, sitting on this one, you guys hit it, you hit the nail on the head on this one. This one is the difference. There's a difference in this one between the other. And you feel it, like, even from the get-go. Like, once the character starts just going off to do his stuff, you can feel the difference in the characters going across the franchise. Now, I enjoy this one for what it was. This one was harder for me because when I was ranking, because I'm trying to figure out how do I place it, because like this one I don't watch as much due to the character driven. And while I agree with Nate, this one while it has a lot of the explosions and a lot of gunfiring, it's not really a typical action movie. It's not one of those that you go, okay, let's put on Rambo First Blood, because you're not getting that. You're right. It does have great messaging and stuff. And, I did enjoy the PTSD because I think that's what made the movie, if you understand what I mean. Like him getting, like they holding him down and then he sees the gate on the wall and he's just starting to remember when he got tortured. and they keep calling this guy a freak, and they didn't know what's going on, and then he beats their ass, and then he starts running. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a very well-paced movie. For especially a slow movie, they're very well-paced. You see his survival skills. He's hunting types of pigs. Like, you know what I mean? In the forest. You can see he has no clothes in the winter, and he figures out how to keep warm, how to, skin animals, and he's wearing the damn skin. So I liked it from that point of view. You got to see his survival skills that he learned being used. There's a lot of movies that we see in the action that these characters get thrown in the woods, and then it's like you assume because he is such a great, you don't see him in action. You're like, well, how did he eat? Well, this one they show you him eating. He got the big warrior. He's like walking up the mountain with a big thigh of meat. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. He gets cut and you see him, cleaning it out, and then he's like sewing it with everything is inside his Rambo knife that everyone now calls a Rambo knife, but it's technically a survival knife when you go buy it. So I love that. I thought it was really cool. Now you have the villains, where I was like, oh man, this is really crazy that the sheriffs, the good guys, are the bad guys in this movie, right? And then Troutman, you're so right. Troutman is like the guy he's like, oh, so you're here to, clean up after your ass because you set a screw loose in the thing. And he's like, no, I'm saving you from him.
I love him in this movie.
Oh, he's so good.
He's good in all of them, but in this one, I like the way his character.
Yeah, he is so good, especially that tent scene. That he's like, oh, he's like, who the hell are you? He's like, I'm the guy who made Rambo. Everything's like, Rambo. But and then at the end when he's talking on the radio and he's like, Raven, calling Raven, and he picks up. He's like, hey sir, and then he's like, we need you to come back. And he was like, that cop kept pushing it. He drew first blood, not me. And I was like, oh man, like he knew, like, okay, these guys kind of picked on him and they really don't know what to do.
I like the ending of this movie that he ends up like arrested. It's not the traditional Hollywood ending where, okay, these guys were bad. He was defending himself, but he's going to just get away and go. Nope. He got arrested. He did a lot of crimes too.
Reality,
reality. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was too. Like it's funny. The original ending, Troutman shoots him in the thing, and it's funny because if you notice, my favorite part of Rambo when he's giving his monologue speech while making a knife, when he's sleeping and you see the black and white imagery going fast, and he's like Raven, calling Raven, and lightning crashes. If you notice in the dream sequence, you see Troutman and him holding, and you see the gun go off. That's the original Rambo ending where he gets shot and he gets killed, but they switched it around and made him live.
Because they're like, we got a hit on our hands.
It's pretty much. Yeah, they pretty much did that. So
they knew it.
So you got a lot of emotion, especially that. I always laugh at the end when he gets into that bad. I call it bad acting, but it's actually pretty good. When he's all crying, and I was like, "What the hell?" It's a very emotional scene because you got to see the characters just break down and telling the colonel all his friends that he went to visit died. Like he has no one. Everyone that like Nate said, people in this that he saved, like the country saved, and they're spitting on him and all this, and then he wanted to be on a Cadillac with his friends, and he blew up everywhere. So
Johnny, give him my legs.
Yeah, my legs. So at the end of the day, it's emotional, it's heartfelt. So I don't know where we're gonna go with these ratings, but I'm gonna be honest. Scott, what do you give this 1 through 5?
I give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a 5 across the board. Nate, what do you give it?
A 4.
A 4. Okay. Nice.
You set me up for failure there.
Yes, I did.
I give it a 4 out of a 5.
Okay, cool. I give it a 5.
4.
Yeah. I give it a hard 5.
Let's go to the chat now. Chat, you guys already know. Give us your thoughts. I'll try to read through them. If they're too long, I might skip a little bit. And then at the end, give your ranking. Rank along with us when we get to the rankings. Travis says, First Blood is epic. There's some rough sound mixing, and the National Guard stuff doesn't match the tone of the rest of the movie. Otherwise, it's near flawless. Jay says, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you, Jay. Travis also said, First Blood is also a lesson in multiple eras of acting. Richard Crenna is so proper and measured, acting like he's on stage. Stallone is unhinged at times, unreadable. Both work really well. Tony says, I love First Blood so much. It's a great depiction of a soldier going through the Vietnam War, and that the town is so mean to him, he just couldn't take it anymore, and I love that. And then, of course, he makes an incredible comparison with Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity. I'm glad they didn't go the other ending. So I think that's what he was talking about with you, where he's talking about shooting, where the main character Rambo dies because they had done that, and there would be no franchise. He gives it a 9. Jay gives this a 5 out of 5. Tony with the with the super chat. Thank you, Tony. Said, that's right, Nate. Millennium Media are the GOAT, and I consider them to be this generation of canon films. Avi Lerner is continuing the legacy of Golan and Grobus. You're right, and Canon also was horrible. So you're right. This is a version of Canon.
Oh my god!
But you know what? They made popcorn movies for cheap. That was kind of their thing. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Tony, for the super chat. All right. So here we go. We're going to go to 1985. Now we're going to refer Rambo First Blood Part 2.
What a dumb name. Can we talk about the naming of these movies? Like, what are we doing? The first one's First Blood. The second one's Rambo 2. No, Rambo First Blood Part 2. The third one's Rambo 3. And the fourth one's Rambo. No number. And then the fifth one is Rambo Last Blood, which that actually works the best, probably.
All right, so in this movie, you guys are wondering, well, what is the sequel about? Well, he's in jail, in prison for a very long time, but to reduce sentence and get a pardon, the president of the United States and a little help from Troutman said, hey, you do this mission, we'll sign you a pardon. And all he had to do was take photos of the POD camp. But Rambo's not going to take photos, people. He's not a photo guy. He's an action guy. He's not a photographer. He's not a photo guy. He's an action guy. So Nate, you go first here. What is your thing on this one? I know this is the second time technically watching this. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I liked it better this time than I did the first time. I kind of liked this movie. It was good. I was like, wait a second. From what I remembered, 2 and 3 didn't do it for me that much.
Yeah.
But watching it this time, I was like, you know what? We're doing a franchise ranking. I really gotta soak this up and be into it. I'm not saying this one's the best, but what I will say is it's a lot better than I remember. It has some good character stuff, actually, again, more so than I remember. And you know what, Alex? And maybe you'll agree. And Scott, maybe you'll agree now that we watched them all. This one almost feels like the prototype version of Rambo 4.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. And there's also this other boat and the metal boat thing. And there's a lot of similarities between this one and Rambo 4. Obviously, there's differences, and we'll get to that movie. But when I was watching it, I was like, dang, I don't know why I didn't really put that together. Because first one's in a forest. This one's in a jungle. Third one is in the desert. And he has all these different locales. But 2 and 4 feel like kindred spirits to me. I love when that girl gets shot. Only because I like the way it's executed because you don't expect that to happen.
No, I didn't.
And then the movie just keeps going along. Like, he can't sit there and stop and be like, no, you got to move. And so I kind of like the matter-of-factness of it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, damn, if this was real life, he'd have to keep going. What is he going to do? So it's kind of unexpected. I like that. I think the action in this movie is really good. I think the action scenes are really good. And it's crazy because the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, there's no talking. It's just action. There's no dialogue. It's just flying a helicopter and driving a boat. He's just doing all this action. And I really enjoyed it. I had way more fun this time than the first time I saw it. And I like the stuff with him. What's the bad guy's name in it?
Murdoch. Yeah.
When Murdoch's like, we're leaving him. Forget it. He's like, I'm coming for you, Murdoch.
Oh, that's my joint. Oh, that gets me in.
Like, oh, you're going to get him, bro. Murdoch, you're in trouble. So I like that it adds in this little almost like revenge element in the midway through the movie. It's fun. It's not perfect. It's some cheese, but overall, I think it's a really better movie than I remember. I thought it was very entertaining.
All right. Scott, do you feel the same way? We're going to find out. What do you think of Rambo First Blood Part 2?
Part 2. I have a similar thoughts to Nate about it. However, when I was watching this movie, right, you instantly feel how the tone is different when you see the guy that wears sunglasses inside. He's just standing in the background with the Cobra Kai guy. Just looking at
the Cobra Kai guy.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's wearing sunglasses inside. We know what kind of movie is going to happen here. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought this was like a mid-tier, but on the better side of mid-tier. Like, it's got good action in it. This movie, though, will be imprinted in my brain forever thanks to AMC. They had a Rambo marathon when I was a kid, and they had commercials for it with a remix, and it was just like, and he was like, with the machine gun, and then in the middle of it, the girl that's dying goes, Rambo. Every time I hear that thing, I think of that instantly. But yeah, I mean, this movie is it's a worthy prototype, like Nate was saying, to like what we would get in Rambo 4. But you can definitely feel they threw some cheese on it, and that cheese is melting and it's getting oozy. But it's a really it's really fun with the action. One of my favorite parts, though, is so badass, is when it's just complete mud. And then he opens his eyes, and you just see the whites of his eyes. I'm like, oh man, he's going. But yeah, I like it. I think it's a pretty good to okay sequel for a follow up to First Blood. I see him in this element.
This one is the most 80s of the first three movies. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like, it's like an 80s movie, this one.
Exactly.
Well, this is the one that you could tell that he's having a competition with Arnold Schwarzenegger in terms of them making action films.
The two of them.
Yeah, you could tell. But let me tell you something. If you guys want nachos and you want cheese, this is the movie for it. You have nachos and cheese in Rambo 2. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I love this movie. I like this movie a lot. And again, I know it's totally different from part 1. And again, I can put that to the side. This movie is so fun. And that's what I kept beating Nate to the brain. I'm like, dude, the movie's fun. Don't look at it with your damn lenses. Character development and stuff, because that's Nate. You know,
don't look at characters, man.
Don't forget characters. Shut your brain off and eat some nachos and enjoy the cheese. That's what I keep telling him. But this movie is so fun, right? First of all, he has to take photographs. He never has a camera.
Oh, that's true.
He has no camera.
Photographs with his parachute.
So I'm like, okay, great. But it's just so fun, and you know, it's just, and that scene where he gets, like, he finds the POW, and you see them struggling to get through, and you see all the Chinese dudes or whatever, the Korean dude, they're chasing after them, and you go, oh my God, are they gonna make it up that hill? And he makes it, he's like, oh, no, no. Right? And the guy is like, and you see Troutman is so hurt. He's like, you gotta put the thing, he's like, and then the guy with the glasses, which Scott loves, and he's like, don't be a hero. He puts the gun on him. Right? So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, they literally backstabbed Rambo. And then they got that scene, bro, when the bad guy's next to him, he goes, if you don't tell, you don't call in and do this, I'm going to torture the POW. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. And then he sits down and he's like, Murdoch. Murdoch is there all sweaty because it's hot as hell in Arizona. He's just there sweating, and he's like, Murdoch. And then he's like looking, and he's like, I'm coming for you. I was like, yes, Rambo! And then Troutman was just like, here you go. Here's the headphones.
I told you not to do this. What you're doing.
And that's another good part is when Murdoch is like, like he was picking on of course Troutman. He was like, well, you could go over your head all you want. This is an unsanctioned, whatever. He goes, pray you don't, whatever. And then he's like, but what mistake is that? He goes, Rambo. He's like Rambo. Like, I don't know. This movie is so dope. And the scene that the chick gets shot and he takes the lucky necklace and he puts it on and then he shoots from the back and then you see all my man's muscles in baby oil and he's just like doing this and then he puts the bow and arrow. That, tell me not. The bow and arrow case, right? People are not going to get like, really? The bow and arrow case that he had has 4 arrows. My man shot 6 arrows with explosions, and I'm like, Rambo had extra patches, baby. He was just shooting. My man was shooting accuracy with those damn things, and I loved it. I thought it brought an element of fun when he started shooting those arrows, because he went from survival skills, and now you get to see him with his like other like pre-primate like weapon.
The difference
so I was like, that's cool.
The difference between 1 and 2 is, whereas 1, he's just trying to survive. Yeah. 2, you see him like in war, actually.
Yeah.
Because number 1 does not have like a big body count where he's just murdering everybody. You know what I mean? This one does. This is where he starts. I mean, not as much as 3, but he murders a lot of people in this movie. Yeah. And the part with the girl too, that's like super. It would never happen now, but the way she's talking. Hey, you take me to America? You do you like me? I like you. Come on.
He was like, yeah.
She was really pretty though. She was really cool.
No, she was cute. She was cute. He was like, you know what? He goes, yeah, we can have some Rambo babies. And then she got shot by the dude. Yo, when the dude shoots her, he runs away like someone that hits somebody with a snowball and they don't want to get caught. You ever seen that? Like when someone hits someone with a snowball and they start running like this? Yeah, he starts running. And then Rambo is standing there and he's just like gearing up his stuff and the guy can't hit him from like 10 feet. Yo, I love it. No, at the end, I could see the differences between James Cameron and him clashing because they're two different styles of action. But at the end of the day, I think as a finished product, I kind of like it. And my man grabs that machine gun and he's shooting the air. He's like, oh! I was like, oh, man. And he's like, mission accomplished. And he's like, pow. I was like, loved it.
Side note, if you have the 4K Steelbook box set of these, the best Steelbook is Rambo 2. It has the best artwork out of all of them. It looks like a comic book. It's great.
You ever seen the trailer to Rambo Part 2? When it's just pure muscles, you see the muscles, like they show his biceps, and it was like coming this summer. And then you see like the other biceps, and then he's tying his boots. It's like Sylvester Stallone is back as Rambo, and he's like ta 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 Part 2.
So real quick to the chat before we give our scores. Billy's Movies, what's up, Billy? Billy's Movie says First Blood, 10 out of 10. It has the best balance of emotion and action from beginning to end. Tony says First Blood Part 2 is a very good continuation of the first film. I love the chemistry between him and the Colonel, and much more action this time around. The ending is great. I love the song. 8 out of 10 for Tony. Billy's Movies gives Rambo 2 an 8 out of 10 as well. Solid sequel, not as good as the original. Steven Berkoff is one of the best 80s villains. He's the one who plays the Russian like general guy. The helicopter sequence is my favorite when he pretends to be dead and fires the rocket.
Oh, that was dope. When they were all chilling. That was dope.
That's what I mean. Like that's such an 80s thing. He pretends to be dead and then shoots a rocket launcher.
But my thing is like, if my wife said it and I started laughing because I never thought of it, she was like, so he pretends to be dead and then he gets up mad fast and shoots the rocket towards it. She goes, but what happened if he put the rocket the other way?
He did it.
Like he forgot to put he blows himself up. But no, that scene, actually, Billy's right. The helicopter sequences in this one was actually a very well thought out. It's a very good one. It reminded me of, which is the one with 007 that he's fighting the guy and they're doing the helicopter. Was it not Quantum? Is it Quantum in the Mexico scene that he's fighting the guy and they're going up and they're doing like this big like aerial? Oh. I think it's Quantum of Solace, right? No, Spectre. It was Spectre. When he's in that in the Day of the Dead sequence in Mexico. Yes, yeah. That one. That was a good helicopter one too. Yeah, look, Spectre. Billy said it. Thank you, Billy.
Gives this Part 2 a 4
Part 2. Part 2. Yeah, it looks like Spectre. Thank you so much.
Okay, yes.
All right, here we go. So, Rambo 3 now has
scores.
Scores. I'm sorry. What's your score for Rambo 2? Scott.
3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5. What we got? Your order, Nate?
The same. 3.5 out of 5 as well.
All right, 3.5. I give it a 4 because I love it. I love cheesy. All right, here we go. We're gonna go with Rambo Part 3. Now, Rambo Part 3 is 1988. Now, this one is different mission. This one, Rambo is living in Thailand. He's doing fighting for his fist. It looked like a Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it's like a Mortal Kombat, like Street Fighter scenes. He's making money for the monks. I'm gonna be honest with you, that scene was kind of badass. I ain't gonna lie. It felt kind of like a Bloodsport sequel with Rambo in it. I thought it was cool. But anyway, the premise is he is now living in Thailand. He's helping the locals there, him fighting for money, giving it away to the church, to the Muslims there, I think, or the church.
It's monk. It's
the monks. The monks.
The monks.
Yeah, he gave it to the monks.
Monastery.
Yes, the monastery. He's fighting for money, giving it to the monastery, and now Troutman is coming to get his help to do a mission where Troutman has to go in, and it's a weird plot, but he has to go in
and Red Foreman is with him.
Yeah, and it's for it's a Russian. Now it's weird because he has to do this. The Russians are trying to take over it's like a holy war going
Afghanistan.
on. Yes. So it's a weird plot line, and then you got this. I don't know. This Russian dude sounds like the dude from Archer, the TV show, the cartoon. He's like, I don't know who you are. Who are you?
I'm going to find out.
Yes. Who is this Rambo? Okay.
You sound like the little guy that flies in this Phantom Menace. The guy who was Anakin.
Oh. Oh, Watto.
Yeah.
That Jedi mind trick don't work on me. All right. Yeah. So with that said, anyway, so you got the Russians in this whole movie, and Rambo says, "No, I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm living in peace. I did my mission. My war is over." So Troutman's like, all right, dude. He was like, I'm out. He gets captured, and now Rambo got to go in and save him. So with that said, Scott, you're going to go first. I already know your answer, but what do you think of Rambo 3?
Rambo 3. I want to start off with a positive first. Real quick.
That's what I like.
Okay, so
get some positives.
My positive is my favorite line in this movie is when the guy that's supposed to bring him through was Afghanistan or whatever.
Oh, the guy.
Like, you look like you've never been to war before. You never go to war before, and he's just like, I fired a few shots. I started laughing my ass off at that scene. But it's all downhill from there. So I was gonna say this movie is just like, I don't know. This movie is like the cheese and reality just went through the wall. Like the cheese is hitting the burner and it's melting and it's burning. It's overburnt cheese is what's going on here. When you get to, I hated a bunch of it. And one of my most hated scenes is when he's with the rebels and they're doing that thing with the lamb, with the horses.
Oh, the football.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
It was so bad. I hated it so much. And then the only benefit of this movie is if you want to turn your brain off and not think about anything that exists, you could be like, oh, this is fun. Look at the explosions. But other than that, like my guy breaks Sam out of the prison. They get him going. He takes an AK-47. He's running around shooting. And I'm like, okay, when's this guy going to drop it and like do something else cool? No, he's still shooting the same AK-47. It's been like 1,000 rounds later and he's still running around with the same thing. It made me think of Charlie Sheen in Hot Shots Part 2 when he's just like shooting at everything, including the Energizer Bunny. It's just, and oh my God, the end scene where he rams the tank into the helicopter. Or, I could just keep going on. Or when he's sitting there where they have 1 billion people and it's just him and Sam sitting there and he's like, oh, I got one grenade launcher left thing in there. And he goes, ugh. And then all of a sudden he starts blowing more out. I'm like, where is he getting these things from? Like, he's shirtless in pants. Like, what is happening here? Oh man, it's just so far-fetched from reality that I couldn't even really I don't know the words for it. I couldn't deal with it.
Okay. All right. What you got?
My opinion.
Now, Alex, this is, just so you know, this is set there was a real war called the Soviet-Afghan War.
Okay.
1979 to 1989. So this is a fictional story set within that real life conflict. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we start there. All right. I like the beginning of the movie. I agree with Alex. I like the stick fighting part. He's like, that guy like, don't get up. I'm holding, and then he helps him up with a stick. Just helps him up, and then they go like, to like respect each other. After that, he gets all the money. I like that part. I like Red Foreman walking around in here. I always like Kurtwood Smith. I'm a fan. I love him in RoboCop. I love him on that 70s show. He's in this. I mean, I'm not saying I love him in this, but I like him. All right. The first time I watched this was for the action movie, guys, and I hated it. I did not like it. This is my second time watching it, and I still hated it. I still did not like it. It's just too much. Like, it's too stupid. We just talked about First Blood Part 2. It's cheesy, right? It's 80s cheese. You could say this is kind of dumb. However, there's enough there, entertainment value-wise and character-wise, where you're still like, this is fun. This is dumb, but it's dumb fun. This is not dumb fun. It's just dumb. And it gets to the point where it's so, like, first of all, the beginning's kind of boring. Like, the first, 30 minutes where he's, like, it's that little fight, and then it's, like, a lot of talking, and then he gets the mission, and then he meets the guys, and then they're making friends, and then they're talking, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, please. And then, Scott, you hit the nail on the head. I think that was my complaint with the original time I watched. It's like, my man is just shooting these guns, like, indiscriminately. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many bullets they're supposed to have. They have unlimited. He has unlimited ammo. And it becomes so, you become like, your brain just turns off. Like, my eyes just glaze over. And I'm just like, at that point, I'm no longer watching a movie. I'm just like looking at it. Like, stuff's just happening and I see it, but I'm not like connected with it at all. So this one definitely just feels like a attempt to make the biggest, loudest, dumbest Rambo movie they could. I think they succeeded in that regard. It has a ton of action. I won't take away from that aspect of it. There's a lot. It's almost too much for a franchise that has an interesting lead character and has done characters and will do after this. We'll still do interesting characters. It's like, man, I don't like this. And I don't like the setting that much, like the desert war type.
Yeah.
I like them in the jungles. I like them in the woods. I like, this just feels like kind of a generic war movie with Rambo in it that has stupid action. It's over the top. It's overboard. It's too much. And I don't really like it. And Stallone looked bored as hell. I don't care. He didn't even look like he was having that much fun in this movie as he did in the first two. His performance is nowhere near as good as it is in any of the other movies. It definitely felt like he phoned it in. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I tried. I was like, you know what? Because I liked part 2. So I was like, maybe I was too hard on 3. But nope. I still don't like it.
Yeah, when I was not crazy with this one on the rewatch, I was like, I was trying to like it. I'm watching it. I'm like, all right, let me see if I can find some positives. There ain't none. Like, there is none. The only thing, maybe him and Troutman are finally together in war. They're doing something, him and the Colonel. So I was like, okay, that's cute. Side cat, you know what I mean? But not even. You think he would be a badass to the Colonel, and he was kind of caca. Like, Rambo was more of the, of the stuff. And I was just like, all right. If I have a feeling if they would have did it in a way now, modernized of Rambo 3, I think the Colonel would have been more badass than Rambo. Like, this is who they taught him how to do what he does best. So I thought that was okay. But in the movie itself, it was not good. You're right. The scene that I always laugh at, and I'm like, this is so stupid, is the scene that, Scott referenced, is the scene that an entire army is in front of these two guys. And he's like, what are we going to do? And he's like, we just fight to the death. And he literally has like 2 grenades, then 5 grenades. And then he's literally shooting all these things with helicopters flying around, and he doesn't even get hit once. I was laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, I don't know why. At this point, I started to get I started to get Rambo hallucinations. And I was like, you know what? This is actually amazing. He's fighting all these dudes with an AK-47 and a rocket launcher, and he's literally baiting all these guys. Like, and then the rebels came in, and then he gets on a horse, and he's like riding with a bottle. He's like, and he's throwing it in tanks, and I'm like, what is going on here? Honestly, you're right. There is no survival of the fittest type style here. And it was lackluster. It was a really lackluster story. I didn't care for it. Like,
I think the problem is they turned him the first movie and the second movie really, because the second movie he goes through a lot to like even win. They turn him into a superhero in this movie. It's like he's too powerful in this. So they kill everybody. There's no competition for him. Whereas in the second one, he gets captured, he gets tortured a little bit. He get like he's still able to survive, but it's too much. And you know what, Scott? I always forget the stupid weird football part. You know what? I love sports and I love sports movies, but for some reason, I hate when sports are in movies that like for no reason, like this. Like I hate basketball whenever they're playing basketball in movies. I hate this. It's like I get they're trying to show camaraderie, but I don't know. Do it in another way. And also, this is the longest of the.
It is.
And it's only like 10 minutes longer, but it feels 30 minutes longer because it's boring.
No, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. All right, Scott, what do you got ranking on this one?
I give it a 1.5 out of 5 just for my favorite line right there. I give it a 0.5 extra.
Okay, 1.5 out of 5.
Nice. I gave it a 2 just to be nice because there's a lot of action. At least there's that, I guess. But I gave it a 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I give this one a 2 also. I think it could have been better, but we didn't get that better. It just was better. No. So
correct. All right, so let's check out the chat. Part 2. Okay. Billy's movie says Rambo 3 is a 6 out of 10 for him. The movie is slow and kind of boring for the first half. The rest of the movie is better, especially with the cave sequences. Stallone is the most ripped in this one. It's also the only movie with Colonel Troutman in on the action. Tony says, despite loving the chemistry between him and the Colonel, this movie's really bad and the storyline is stupid. They went too far with the silliness. 4 out of 10 for Tony. Jay gives this part Trey 2 out of 5. Billy says, despite what I said, I still have more fun with this than most people. That's fair.
Okay.
And then Tony says, Nate, what is it about random basketball scenes that you hate? First of all, they never fit. They never fit in the movie they're in. Okay, why are we playing basketball? Why are we playing basketball right now? And why am I watching it? It has nothing to do with the plot. Usually, I mean, Escape from L.A. It kind of does because it's like a game that is like. But even that is the worst basketball scene. And they never know how to play basketball. The people in the it's like, what are we doing here? You're gonna watch this guy like dunk. This guy who's like 5'8", he's gonna dunk. Get out of here. Yeah, I don't like basketball in movies. I love basketball. I hate it in movies.
Okay.
Sorry,
well,
Tony.
Guess what? 2008, Part 4 comes out. Rambo. Now, this time it's written by Stallone and directed by Sylvester Stallone. And now, I mean, Stallone and other 2 people, but he was like the main guy on it. So, with this one, he's back in Thailand. All right, so he's back in Thailand. He has to help a group of mercenaries to go into Burma because this Christian organization went in to give aid and they got kidnapped. And Rambo said, you should not do that because it ain't going to work out for you. And they got caught and now he feels bad. He has to go in with the mercenaries. And my man just unlocked the brutality of Rambo. So what I say is, this is, my friends, it's not called Rambo. This is called Rambo Ground Beef Edition. Because this is what you're getting when you're watching this movie. Mucho ground beef.
Yeah.
Went back to the original style of the character, the source of the action. So, with that said, Nate, you go first.
Okay.
For Rambo ground beef.
Yeah, and this is another one where I'm just double checking something. Yes, okay. So this one was the first one that I saw at theaters. I distinctly remember seeing this at the theater. I was only 21 when this movie came out. So I was like prime for some action. I was like, let's see this. It looks bloody. And I remember originally it was going to be called John Rambo, not just Rambo, which was interesting because this was right after he did Rocky Balboa. So like he was about to have his 2 most famous movies, and they were going to be called Rocky Balboa and John Rambo. And I thought that was kind of cool. Ultimately, I think there's like a director's cut, and that version is called John Rambo still, but whatever. Yeah, this movie's badass. It's good. And I like the style Stallone directed it in. It feels the most realistic
Yeah.
One feels realistic story wise, but it looks like a movie. It's cinematic. This one looks almost like a documentary at times. Like it's like handheld. It seems like they did a lot of handheld shooting, a lot of just the way it's filmed. It feels real. This one is by far the most violent, and what I mean by that is like these all have action, and they all have a lot of killing, and he stabs and blows people up. But like this one, like they're throwing kids in burning houses. They're like literally chucking the kid in there and chopping off legs and ripping out throats and chopping off heads. And, the guy with the 50 cal on the back of the car, that's my favorite scene of all time, where he just comes up on him, just that's where he turns him into hamburger meat. I love it. As far as the action goes, it's the most brutal and realistic looking. And there's a good story here. I actually like the story in this movie too. Like it carries. The good thing with this one is it feels like Alex said, like it feels like a mix of 1 and 2, where you have a good story with this character, and there's something to say there. But then it also seems like 2 with the jungle and like a lot of the action set pieces. So, and this one, the villains, like they don't have the villain like the cartoony, one main guy, but you just have this group of like realistic seeming military guys in this area in Burma who are like raping and pillaging and killing people, right? So I think this one has the best mix in the franchise of story and action. I don't think it has the best story. I do think it has some of the best action, but it has the best kind of balance for me. And I love Stallone as the older Rambo. I still think it works. He's young enough to still be doing, the running and the fighting, and you to believe it. Plus, I like this because it's like I said, it's like right after Rocky Balboa. So he's older, but he's like thicker. Like the other ones, he's more shredded. But here he just looks like a bull. You know what I mean? The only dislike, I do have a negative. I kind of hate the church group people. Not because they're a church group. I just hate that guy. That guy's so annoying. I don't mind the girl. Like, I understand her point. They're trying to make a difference and all this stuff. But, like, this guy, those people on the boat, spoiler alert, I guess, they're, like, going to take her and, like, do bad stuff to her and kill her. He kills them to defend her. And they're going, we should never take a life. You should. I was like, shoot this guy. Shoot him, too. You know what? Shoot him and throw him on the boat. Because I can't stand him, and he's in it too much. I also hate the bald soldier guy. He's so annoying. Dropped 1,000-yard stare. I've seen it all before. I'm not impressed. I'm like, shoot him too. I wish he would have shot everybody, but overall, I think this movie's awesome. Overall, I think this movie's awesome. I really like it. It's fantastic and it's a lot of fun.
All right, Scott. What do you think of Rambo 4 Ground Beef?
Rambo 4 Ground Beef. I pretty much agree with Nate. I honestly think where they pick up with Rambo at the beginning of this movie is like the best like adaptation of what you would see Rambo doing after something like First Blood happened. Like he'd be back there laying low, doing fishing, trying to do good where he can. You see him tossing the fish to that other group of boats going past and everything like that. To Nate, I mean Nate pretty much summed it up. I do hate the church people. I cannot stand the church people. Like they're like Rambo's like, this is a war zone. What are you doing? And they're just like, we're just here to save the people. And then freaking, that guy's like, you can't kill anybody. It's like, all right, just let that guy get killed. Let them have sex with them or whatever they're going to do. It's just, I can't stand those people. But I do agree with Nate. The story is a good balance of story. The action is brutal. The only thing I have against the action is sometimes you can tell it's got that cheesy CGI, like blood and stuff in there. Especially like the scene. It shows really bad when he takes that machete and cuts the guy open. Like you can see it kind of doesn't match up when the body's falling down the hill and everything. The bald-headed guy, he's annoying. Everybody that gets in his way, he's like, I'm going to kill you. And then he ends up getting proven wrong, and they're like, "Oh."
I do like the sniper kid though, Schoolboy.
Oh
yeah.
He's just start shooting people, and they go flying,
cutting people's heads off from like right here with a bullet and everything. Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, I genuinely enjoy this movie. I think it's a very good addition as far as bringing in brutal action, and then also having a story that's not completely stupid or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Oh,
Look,
I know.
let me just tell you something. Rambo 4 to me is one of the best adaptation of the character you could get after part 1. I mean, it's like the best. Like if you want to modernize the character, this is it. This is the one that you want to model my man after if you're gonna make a new one down the line. The story. Let's just get to the storyline. I love that it's actually a real storyline. This stuff happens to real people, and Stallone is actually putting a spotlight on those countries and all that stuff. I love that. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. Now the church people going there to do the aid, I was okay with it because you needed a storyline to get these people in. I didn't mind it. I do agree when the stuff happens and the guy's yelling at him and I'm like, you're a dumbass. He told you when he's feeding the snake, this is what's going to happen. But I get it. Was like, yo, he should just shoot this guy too. But I was like, it's fine. It is what it is. But that scene, let me just tell you that when that scene happens, I get jacked, bro. I'm like, oh my God. I loved it. My man shot an entire clip like nothing. He looked, he did the Rambo vision that you hit like the square button in the video game. He's pinging them. Like Red Dead Redemption. He's like, boop, 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 boop. And then he executed. He's like, pow, 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 pow. And then my man picked him up with one swing. He was like, who are you?
I like that part.
I love that joint. My man picked him off the ground. He's like, who are you? And then she's like, we gotta go. And then, again, great scene. But the scene that I got really like pumped, like, is the scene that they all coming off the boat and they're like, hey, what's the boatman doing? And he goes, hey, boatman, you stay with the boat. And he goes, but my man is there with the boat. He goes, no, you're the boatman. We don't want you to fall behind. And he's just like, and I loved it because throughout the entire interactions with the mercenaries, my man kept quiet. He let them talk. He was just like, okay, sure. And he's like, you stay with the boat? I will stay with the boat. And he stood back. And then when that scene comes with the bow and arrow, and he's like, pow! And he's hitting them from, I loved it. I was like, yo, this movie is so good. He shoots the guy. He falls on the mine. He goes, boom. And then how hard he hits the dude that it pings through his body and it hits the truck. I said, man, this movie is like so good. I'm over here eating pizza.
One of the best individual shots where he comes up behind the guy slow.
Oh, that scene!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm ready. Just tear this guy's head off.
You don't. Let me tell you something. That scene also is another scene that when I see that scene, I'm like, this is it. This is the scene that you all fucked up. Like, you're done. There's a few scenes in Hollywood with main characters that you just go, okay, it is what it is. There's two of them. There's one. When Drago sees Rocky holding my man Apollo Creed bleeding out, and he looks at him, he goes, I'm going to fuck you up soon. And he was like, he already knows he's getting his ass beat. But the Rambo scene that he pulls up, you already know you have done fucked up. Because all the guys are just laying down, and Schoolboy is holding the big-ass gun, and he's like this. And she's like, what are we going to do? And he goes, just nothing you can do. And I was like, there's something John Rambo could do. And then you see him get up, and then he cuts his head off, and my man ground beefing everybody. Burgers tonight, boys. Because he's like, clow. And then I loved it. And you know what I liked about it? Because Nate said something about Rambo 3 that I totally agree. He was a superhero. My man got shot. He was like, ah! He's holding the thing, and then he got up, and he's like, clow, and he's just ground beefing dudes. He's like, ah! I loved it. Yo, that scene when he's tearing up the trees with the truck and all the men are like, blah, blah. They're all doing the dance and they're like, they look like those stupid mannequins with the wind that's getting blown and they're like this.
Well, the inflatable tube guys?
Yes, they're Florida tube guys. Yeah, that's what they look like. They're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, the scene with the boat, and he tears up the boat with the 50 caliber. Bro, let me tell you, the last 30 minutes of the minute he gets behind that guy, and then he does the Rambo vision. When the guy runs away, he goes, whoo, and then he starts running after him. And then my man just came. I don't know what he did. He did the Jason shit because he found him. And he said, pow. And then he turned around and I said, Rambo.
And you know what works
like, yes.
too? Like, he's not a superhero. And obviously, when you're watching an action film like this, right, your guy has to be, he's going to be more powerful than the bad guys, obviously.
Yeah.
But at least this one was smart to be like, okay, he's a little older. He's still great. He does get hurt, but he has a team. Like there's people who help him too, right? You have
Oh,
those
yeah,
mercenary guys. You have, which I think is a smart move to make it where it's not just one old guy completely decimating absolutely like what Rambo 3 ultimately felt like. So,
but
I
you're
think that was
right
a smart
though.
move, too.
But like even still, like once they knew this dude was not even messing around, he took over the entire mercenaries. He's like, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, the bald guy was like, all right.
Yeah, he was like, he didn't know. Oh, when he put the arrow in his eye, he was like, live for something or die for nothing. And I said, brother, I'm living for something. Let's go, Rambo. Let's go. We eating burgers tonight. Like I said, burgers tonight, baby, on Rambo.
May not be a superhero, but he is super trained.
Dude, and then there's, of course, the scene with the and it's really heartfelt when the church guy comes and he goes, oh, he comes all sweet and he's all nice and Rambo's all waking up and he was like, he's like, what happened? And he's like, oh, they got caught. And he's like, the mercenaries are ready to leave when you are. He's like, and then he just walks away and then he does the Nate thing. He's like, easy as killing as breathing. And he's like, bing! And I'm like, yes, Rambo, keep pinging. He's like, bing. I wish he opened up. And I always wanted, I was telling Angelina, I wish he opened up a crate. And inside that crate is like his old weapons that we knew, like the exploding rounds and his arrows.
The arrows
like,
and stuff.
Yeah. And then he grabbed his stuff and I was like, oh, my man made a machete just for these guys, just to kick their ass. And I was like, oh, I love this Rambo gang.
All right, now real quick, let's go to the chat before we give our scores.
All right, what we got for the chat?
For this one. Oh, also, I really like the end of this movie. That he ends up back in the U.S. after he had been in all these other, that he goes home. I kind of like it because it does. I will say the continuity in these movies is pretty good. It's pretty good, like how they all go one to the next to the next. The only thing is Rambo. I didn't see in Rambo 5 the scar on the face.
No, they removed that scar.
In part 2.
Yeah,
he got it in 2. It's there in 3. It's there in 4.
Yeah,
and 5 he got facial reconstruction surgery or something.
Bro, let me tell you something. And before you go to the chat, I'm sorry, chat, because I get too excited with Rambo 4. Let me just tell you. The scene that he goes, give me the claymore, and he's tying the girl's scent on his shoe, and he's like, fire a shot! And he's like, what? I said, fire a shot! he stepped up to schoolboy, he's like, fire, and he shoots it, and they all went, and then they all start running. Let me tell you, son, that scene with the wide angle, and he's running, and the music is like, dun, 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 and it's like building up, and it goes, boom! It was like an atom bomb or whatever.
It was like a freaking, a nuke left in the woods.
Dude, I loved it because you see Rambo get hurt. He's holding because he starts rolling down the hill, and you see him hitting Brandon. He's like, ah! he's all hurt. He's like, shit, I should not did. Look, I love Rambo. Like, Rambo 4 is my joint. I always tell people, like, part 4 is my joint. If they ever do what they do with Nate's Florida thing that they show old ass movies, I hope this is one of them in the theater for the anniversary because I would love to see it again in the theater.
Yeah, I saw this at the theater, so it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go to the chat. We got a lot of comments on Rambo 4 here. Travis says, in terms of quality, I think it's the second best. I've seen a lot of violent movies, and this is easily the most violent movie I've ever seen. Personally, however, I think it goes too far, which hurts it. This is too violent for him. A little too much. Billy's Movie says Rambo 4 is a 9 out of 10. This is almost as great as the first. The action is top notch. However, I hate that Rambo had to save a bunch of idiots that deserve to die. That's Scott. He agrees with Scott. It was a perfect ending with him going home. Agreed. Tony says, I love Rambo 4. It's an action movie masterpiece. I love the storyline with him and his relationship with the new girl was great. Not afraid to shy away from the violence of the villains. I love the extended cut of the film. Definitely my version of the film.
Yeah,
the military guys were great. Travis says, for me, First Blood barely had to show anything to be effective and scary. Those brief flashes of what he went through and the story tells in the end, that's all you needed. Tony says, 10 out of 10. I didn't mind the bald guy, and I like Schoolboy. Triborough's laughing. Travis says, live... Oh, good.
No, go.
Oh, he said, live for nothing or die for something is a great line. I love the homage to Richard Crenna and how much they made Rambo 3 important to his arc.
Yep.
Tony says, top 4 favorite action movies of all time for me. Why top 4? Why not just top 5? Why did you pick 4? I'm confused. Top 7 of all time. Triborough says, you gotta love Alex's Rambo ad-libs. Jay gives this one a 3 out of a 5.
Oh,
now, he was very quiet. I did not see him say anything except a score. So Jay doesn't love this one as much. Tony says the ending is pure perfection. And Tribur says, I don't even remember Rambo 4, LOL. But Last Blood was a good finale. Tribur, do yourself a favor and go back
watch Rambo 4.
Watch Rambo 4. And then don't watch Rambo 5 and you'll think this is a good finale.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good send. I think it was a perfect send off. It was like the Indiana Jones Last Crusade. Like, you should have never touched it after this. Yeah. Okay, with that said, Scott, what do you give Rambo 4 ground beef?
4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5. Nice. What you got?
All right, I gave it a 4. I know I said all those. I mean, I think it's equal to 1. Pretty much I gave him the same score.
Well, you know what? I'm
7.
I'm going to give it an 8. I
8
like
out of 5.
it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 5. Well, I give it an 8 out of 5. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think this is to me, this is the perfect movie for myself. If you want to think of Rambo, this is it. You got explosions. He causes an explosion. He turns people into beef. Like, I mean, I love it. I mean, and then he rips a dude's Adam apple out. He's like, plow!
The guy who you want him to rip his Adam's apple out too, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like, do it. Just do that.
Yeah. So anyway, at the end of the day, you got everything there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't even know what we're doing.
Rambo,
anyway. Last Blood.
Last Blood.
Okay, so we have Rambo Last Blood. Now, this one takes years later. You find out there's a couple, not a couple, but an old lady and a daughter is living on the ranch taking care of his dad. He passes away, and Rambo does not kick him out the ranch. He says, you guys could stay here and just continue doing what you did for my dad. You do it for me. And they took care of him, and he grew this girl up to be like kind of his semi-daughter, Gabriella. And she gets kidnapped because of her friend in Mexico because she wanted to know if her father, why did he abandon them and why he never loved them. So she goes there. She cried because the father said, I never wanted you in the first place. She boo, boo, boo. They went to a club. Her friend sold her out. She went into sex slavery, drugs. Rambo was like, I'm going to go in there and get her. Drug cartels. There you have it in a nutshell. She dies and boop. Rambo has to now fight all these guys in his house, and it becomes Home Alone. So, with that said, Nate, you go first. What did you think of Rambo Last Blood?
Okay, I'm just Last Blood.
Last Blood.
Let me just see something here because I want to check this director. What the freak did he? Okay, I figured. I knew.
Was it Grunberg guy or whatever?
Yeah, Adrian Grunberg, and he directed a movie that we did on the podcast as well called Get the Gringo with Mel Gibson.
Oh, I like that one. We did it with Scott. Scott was in that episode.
There you go, Scott. You were there. You were there for all the Grunberg movies we review. Okay.
Come on.
You know what? When I saw this at the theater, I thought it was fine. When I see this one now, I'm like, it's not the best. It's not the best. And I would say, I think it's very average. Like, in the sense, I'm not saying average Rambo. I'm saying average movie. Like, this is nothing about this is particularly great. I also don't think anything is, like, super bad either. I have very low feelings about it. Like, I don't feel strongly either way, which is worse. To me, that's worse. Like, I would rather hate a movie or really like it than just be kind of indifferent. And I feel fairly indifferent to this. I'll give it some credit. I like the finale in the tunnels, the Home Alone part. My problem is, like, there's like a little bit of action before that, but not a lot. Like, this probably has the least action, even less than the first movie of all the Rambo movies. He's old. He's doing basically an investigation. He's like a detective now. And he still, like, hurts people, but it's not like a violence extravaganza. The finale in the tunnels is, and that's fun. I like the music during it, too. It's pretty awesome. But other than that, this feels like 5 other movies that came out around this time. Around the 2018, 2019, 2020. The whole sex slave girl taken into... Like, there's a movie called Traffic that was like this. There was Miss Bala, which was like this. There was, like, there's so many... Taken. This was like Taken. Like, this feels so samey. And it feels nothing like a Rambo movie, in my opinion. So, I like the very end where it shows, like, the little highlight clip. That's, like, the best part, and it's showing parts from other movies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think this one is... I don't think it's a terrible movie. I just think it is a very average movie. Like it's very average, and it feels the least like a Rambo movie of all the Rambo movies.
Okay. All right. Least favorite Rambo movie.
Least Rambo-ish movie. Yeah.
Rambo-ish movie. All right, Scott. What do you got?
Well,
What do you have?
What do you got?
well, Alex was like, I'd never seen this movie before. This is
Yeah.
a fresh watch for me. Alex was like, man, you never see Rambo 5? And I was like, no, I've never seen Rambo 5. And he's like, you missing out. And I was like, all right. So I popped it in. By the way, I didn't get to see the extended cut because it's not on the 4K, I guess.
What?
No,
It is on
yeah,
the
it's-
4K.
No, it came with a digital, remember?
Oh, the digital was an
version
extended cut.
Yeah.
Okay, I have it digital. I have it on the digital then.
For your
Oh.
digital code, you'll get the extended version.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I have that then. But anyway, I was watching this and I was like, what the hell is going on? I feel like Stallone was like watching Taken. He's like, yeah, I could do that.
Well, he didn't write
Like,
the movie. He didn't write this movie. He didn't write.
Oh, okay.
This is not
Well,
his. Was he a
He
writer?
told whoever wrote it, he was like,
Yeah,
write it.
yeah. Yeah, he
Let's
gave
write
the
a
idea.
Rambo Taken
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he like I felt like Nate. I was like, this doesn't feel like Rambo to me at all. This is not my Rambo. Where's my Rambo? Because this ain't it. Because he's like you would think with all of his experience and stuff like that, when he goes to get her, he would be smarter than to just like I think it was he pack a little 45 in his belt and he's like going to walk. He's like, yo, let her go. And like they're all like, "Who's this guy?" And they all beat the crap out of him and
Yeah.
leave him like in Fistful of Dollars when they beat the crap out of Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
He
I'm
heals
like,
in
that's
like
not-
3 days. All his wounds go like down. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. I'm like, this is not Rambo. Like Rambo would know who these people are, and he'd be like, "All right, it's time to put the thing on," and then he would like be up there instead of watching them up there, and then the guy sees him from that building and then warns them. He would be taking out the guy that's watching him from the building, and then he would go like medieval on their ass with a machete and a bow and arrow set, and that's how he would have handled that. But instead, they just let him get the crap kicked out of him, making him like disrespected like some of these legacy characters around the times that the movie came out. And then he has to go all like, and then he watched like Saw and Home Alone and was like, well, let's do that for the end. And it was just like, it took me so far out of the Rambo franchise. I wasn't about it. I didn't.
and it feels low budget.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. It wasn't my
Feels
cup
cheap.
of tea at all.
Yeah,
So not that I hate it.
sure.
Yeah, but it wasn't for me.
So
Alex, before you go, Scott, to
Yeah.
your point, like look at what he does in the finale, right? He sets up this thing. He knows they're gonna come. He still
Exactly.
got it in the brain to be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna set up to just drive down there and be like, I'm just gonna go get it. And
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Like, you
plan.
should have known that from the start.
and on paper, Rambo doing Rambo stuff in a city sounds cool. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Because he's in the jungle, he's been in the desert, he's been in a forest. Imagine he's in Mexico and he's like moving around. I'm okay with that, but like because he's old, he doesn't do it. It's like, and then the girl
but he could
dies.
have taken
I
his
don't like
time and
that
planned
either.
it out.
Yeah, and I hate that the girl dies. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of that decision at all. Like I really don't like it, but it is what it is. She's innocent. Like it felt mean to kill her, in my opinion. I didn't really like that.
well,
Yeah.
I'll do a little pushback. I just want to push back. So with the extended cut, the differences with the extended cut is in the beginning is totally different, where he saves a girl from a wall of water, and yeah, that's totally different. That was never in the original cut. I like that cut. I think that's pretty cool because you get to see the character more humanized when the boyfriend or someone dies, and then he's like couldn't save him, so it messed up his mind. But anyway, to do a little pushbacks in terms of your thing with the him just rolling up. I see it in a different way. I see it as him rolling up. He right now is not in that mindset of war. He just wants to get that girl back. So I think he forgot I think he forgot everything. All he wanted back was the girl. So he just rolled up. I think anybody would do that. Like they just woke up. Yeah, he got his ass kicked. But then it was just over. You know, he threw away his pills. I think he threw away the pills when he went to speak to the girl. He threw the pills away, so his PTSD started to kick in again, and all his rage and everything. And I get it. I'm not a big fan of this movie either. I felt like this felt more of like a straight to DVD movie with a Rambo. It didn't feel like, see, and that's what I was like telling you guys, like Rambo 4 was the perfect ending because that was the character that we loved put all in one, like 1, 2, and 3 squeezed came out 4. You're
And
like,
he went
yes.
home.
Yeah, and he went home.
Yeah.
He had his purpose. Yeah, his purpose was to go home. Where the girl was like, you sure you didn't see what the world looked like after, whatever. He just decided to go back home. This one, I get it. It was characters I didn't care for. Gabriella was a character that they just made for that movie. I didn't care for because I didn't even know who the hell she was in the other 4 movies. So it didn't work for me. So for me, at the end of everything, it's an okay Rambo movie that shouldn't be slotted at the end. This should have been slotted in the before Rambo. Like if you understand, like I don't know, it should not even happen. I personally believe this movie should have never happened.
I agree.
And it sucks because it's cool, like you guys said, yeah, it's cool what would Rambo do in a situation in a city, but at the end of the day, he doesn't know that land. So it's like, to me, it would have not worked because he doesn't know the land more like the jungle. He lived in the jungle. He knows what to do in the jungle. In the city, he ain't gonna know what the hell to do in the buildings and do all that. So, I mean, there was some cool stuff. The house thing bothers me. I'm gonna be honest. While it was cool, it still bothered me even watching the extended scene. I was kind of annoyed. I was like, okay, so you mean to tell me this guy went off and blew up the entire land. They're like, boom, boom, boom. And no fucking sheriffs heard this thing for miles? I mean, this is explosions. You can hear for miles down the line. And at the end of the day, there's no police presence coming to his house to investigate this explosion that's going off. So that annoyed me. Did you guys feel like 5 SUVs pulled up to this guy's house and close to 100 people going into the basement? I'm like, where are these people coming from?
Those are the clown cars.
Yeah.
They're like 15 people in each one.
Like, I didn't understand that at all. Like, I'm like, yo, how many of the bad guys are coming into? Like, he killed almost all of them in the beginning, but then there's more coming, floods coming in. Mind you, it's pretty cool kills. Some of them were really creative. But I'm like, okay, great, but I don't know. To me, the best part of this movie is the ending when he shoots his bow and arrow and the guy's pinned on the wall and then he's just all bloody. He's walking up to him and he's, cuts his heart out. And I was okay. It's not Rambo, but it's okay.
Like that finale was done that way because they knew the rest of the movie wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Like at least at the end, let's send the people home with some crazy kills and
Yeah,
no,
I remember at the theater, people were like, oh, like they were reacting to it. But at that point, you were just bored and just happy to see something exciting.
I agree. Like him with that bow and arrow, I was like, that made me more excited than him shooting and cutting legs off because we known him for shooting bow and arrows. That's what he's known for. So when he pins him on the wall, I'm like, holy crap. Like, damn. But I don't know. I just felt like so anticlimactic. Like, it's just certain things about it. I was just like, this is not good. This is not a good storyline for this character. No tributes to Troutman.
Yeah, and for a franchise who has written characters well, the girl is like, okay, one, I already said, I hate that she dies. I don't think it's warranted. The movie's the same if she lives and they just did that to her and they come to get her and he does all the same stuff. So I think it's mean-spirited. And two, I think she's such a dumb, and I know she's young and whatever, but like, they tell you, your dad beat your mom. He had to like pull him off. He's a horrible person. He does, and she's still like, no, I have to go find him. I have to go find him. And it becomes like, why are you stupid like this? And her dad was pretty young. She could have waited 10 years and then found him, pretty easily. It was in an apartment building. So like, it was just, she's poorly written, but I still didn't want her to die. I didn't dislike her. So I don't know. I feel like everyone but Rambo's movie kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You know what I was thinking about, like, even when we were doing this, and I was like, man, how can I you know how I love to rewrite stuff. And I was like, how can I rework this? And I thought about it. I said, you know what? This could have been fun for a lot of the audiences. What if this girl was never in Rambo's thing? What happened if this girl was captured, but it was one of the daughters of, remember when he was in part 1? And he's talking to the black lady of his friend that died. And she goes, oh, this is a picture of us. And this is Ortega and this guy and this guy. it could have been the daughter of Ortega's son and comes to ask for help from Rambo. Can you help me? You were my father's friend. Can you come help me? Because I was part, he was part army, so at least you could see him in action. Like, I need your help. Then I would have been like, yo, that's actually pretty dope. Because now you have a new generation with his original father's friend, whatever. And then you could tell stories, like something like, your father was, whatever. But
we have no idea who they are, but apparently they're been around for 10 years or 15 years or whatever. And it's like, okay, I don't know them.
Yeah, like, I think it would have been more fun learning from a kid's point of view from the father that he was friends with or whatever, came to ask help. But I don't know. I just feel like it was just a lackluster movie. I still think part 4 is the best ending for it.
I think it was a money grab.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Money
chat
grab,
before,
like
and it didn't even grab that much money. Let's go to the chat and see what people said about this one. Travis says, I call this one assed blood. I like that. Triborough says, Rambo, The Last Hurrah. Billy says, Last Blood is a 3 out of 10. The story is nonsense. I don't care about the new characters. There's some cool action sequences at the end, but overall, it's not a good movie. I usually skip this one when I rewatch the series. Fair. Travis says, my problem with this is it doesn't feel like a Rambo movie. Okay, so similar to what I said, feels like a direct-to-video movie where Stallone's name was changed to Rambo at the last second. It seems like it was a different movie and they just made it a Rambo movie.
Right.
Triborough said, it didn't really feel like a true Rambo film, but it definitely felt like the ending to the series. Here comes Tony. I love Last Blood. Not as good as 4, but I think this is a really good movie and a good epilogue of Rambo's journey. I got very emotional between him and his daughter, and I love the villains. What was his daughter? Who's his daughter?
The Gabriella.
It's not his daughter. It's just some girl. Come on, Tony. Tony said Rambo Last Blood Extended Cut is a much better movie. I disagree. I don't think it's much. I think it's pretty much the same. It's better characters developed. You get to know the villains more, and the opening is great where Rambo seeing where he's been all this time. Travis says, I feel like this was meant to be a straight to Redbox movie starring Bruce Willis called Traffic Control. True. Travis says they flat out abandoned the female character he meets in Mexico. Oh, yeah, the reporter girl.
That's true.
Doesn't matter. This movie would have been better had Sheriff Teasel returned and confronted Rambo about going to Mexico. And then the two have to team up to take out the cartel at the house, cop and soldier. Oh. Triborough says, Rambo just wanted peace at this stage of his life. True. He's riding horses. He's out there riding horses. Travis says, I love all the half-assed Spanish Stallone drops throughout the movie. Como esta?
Como esta?
Tony says, I thought the reviews were hilarious that the film critic got so offended and said it was racist because it was set in Mexico, even though they know that he's killing traffickers, but they weren't mad about the movie Sicario. A little different, though. Portrayal of the Mexicans is a little different, Tony. I think that's the criticism. Jay says, there was nothing original in this movie, 1.5 out of 5. Billy says, I agree. This should not exist. There's only 4 Rambo movies to me. And Triborough is laughing. And I know, so I agree with everything everyone said. And you guys.
But the funny thing is like, remember Anakin talking to Watto in Star Wars and he sounded like horrible? That's what Stallone sounded like when he was talking to the pirates in part 4. He's like, abba dooba double dibble. And then he was like, he's like, double dooba. Like, and I see what he means, though. That was kind of funny.
It's like the girl in part 2. I don't think she was speaking Vietnamese or whatever. She was.
No.
It sounded like she was just saying made up words.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we're gonna score this movie?
Yeah, it's time to score. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah. So, what do you give Rambo 5, Scott?
I give it a 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Neat.
Yeah. If I gave 3 a 2, I also had to give this a 2. So I had to default to a 2.
Yeah, I give this one a 2.5 because I thought the gory at the end was pretty good. The goriness. And
you know what? I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well because I think 3 is worse. So I will give this a half a point more.
All right. So these are all the Rambo movies in the franchise, which we all went through. And now we're going to put them all in the order of the Geeks and Flix best to worst of the Rambo franchise. So,
okay.
With that said, what we got?
I have the results. Chat, rank along with us. Give us your 5, your 4. That's how we're going to go from 5 to 1. We'll go one by one, put them in. I'll read them as we go. If you're new here, this is a scientific ranking. Alex sent me his first time ever. He was the first one to send me. And then me and Scott I assign a point value to each ranking, 1 being 5 points, 5 being 1 point, and then I tabulate the totals to give us a group ranking. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, not very much parity in these rankings. They're all very similar. So this one's pretty easy. At number 5, with a total of, between the three of us, with a total of 3 points, is going to be Rambo 3.
Ooh.
Coming in fifth place, Rambo the Third. Yes. Scott had this at number 5. Alex, you had this at number 5. Nate had this at number 5. So we all had it locked in. No difference there. Billy says number 5 for him, Last Blood. Okay, moving on. Number 4, with a total of 6 points. Okay, Last Blood.
Whoa. Okay.
Last Blood. There it is. Rambo, Last Blood. Scott had this at number 4. Alex, you had this at number 4. And Nate had this at number 4. So, again, all the same. Going back to the chat, Jay has his number 5 is Last Blood. He agrees with Billy. Tony's number 5 is Rambo 3. Triborough gave me all of his, but I'll just read them as we go. Number 5, he put Rambo 4 because he doesn't remember it. And then Tony's number 4, Billy's number 4, Rambo 3. And Tony's number 4 is First Blood Part 2. All right. All right.
This is gonna get crazy, isn't it?
Where's Tony? He has Last Blood 3rd or best. Okay. It's because he loves Millennium Media. That's why I'm telling you, he's biased. All right, coming in at number 3 with a total of 9 points is going to be Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
All right.
Scott, you had this at number 3. Alex, you had this at number 3. Nate had this at number 3.
So we so far we're the same.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. I think this is where it's gonna differ though, because once whatever 2 is, we already know what 1 is.
Correct. Yeah, that's the thing about these rankings. But still, I'll go over where everyone put what. Let's see, Tony, Jay, his number 4 is Part 3.
Okay.
Billy's number 3 is First Blood Part 2, so he has it in the same spot as us. Triborough's number, where's Triborough? His number 4 was Rambo 3, and his number 3 was Last Blood. Travis, his number 5 is Last Blood. His number 4 is First Blood Part 2, and his number 3 is Rambo, or the 4th Rambo. Okay. So I'm all caught up there. Number 2. Now, this is where there is some difference, Alex. You called it. You're correct. I'm just going to say that we'll just do it like this, because once you know 2, you know 1. Number 2 had 13 points, and number 1 had 14 points.
Oh,
so they were only separated by 1 point.
Okay.
And coming in at number 2 is going to be Rambo. Just Rambo, the 4th installment of the franchise.
Really?
Rambo, correct. Meaning coming in at 1, and I'll tell everyone what they had. Coming in at number 1 is First Blood.
Okay.
By 1 point, mind you, by 1 point. All right, Scott, his number 2 was Rambo. Alex, your number 2 was First Blood.
Yeah.
And my number 2 was Rambo. So me and Scott actually had the same exact list, 1 through 5. So Alex, your number 1 was Rambo, of course, the 4th film. My number 1 was First Blood, and Scott's number 1 was First Blood. So let's jump to the chat real quick. Triborough's number 2, First Blood, and his number 1. Wait a second, this don't make no sense. Rambo 2, I guess. I guess his number 1 is Rambo Part 2 because he just put Rambo, but that's called 4. Travis's number 2 is Rambo 3. That's interesting. And his number 1 is First Blood. Jay Manley's number 3 is Part 2. Tony's number 3 is Last Blood Extended Cut, specifically. Jay's number 2 is Rambo, so like our list. Billy's number 2 is Rambo 4. His number 1 is First Blood, like our list. Jay's number 1 is First Blood, like our list. Tony's number 3, Rambo Last Blood. Okay, I already read that. Number 2 is First Blood. So that means his number 1 is Rambo 4. Triborough's number 1 is Rambo. Oh, I get it. And his number 2 is Rambo 2 First Blood. Got it.
Yeah.
What a confusing way to read this. But I think I got everyone's rankings for the most part, except for Tony and Travis, who likes Rambo 3 a lot and put it at number 2. For the most part, 4 and 5 are either 3 and 5. And 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, and 4 kind of make up the top 3 for most people. And I feel like our ranking is pretty fair, pretty common.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, Rambo should be one, but I mean, I get it.
I mean, I feel like First Blood is just a better film than Rambo 4. I think Rambo 4 is a better action movie than First Blood, but I don't think it's a better movie, period. For me, that's the differentiating factor of it. But if you're just pure action movie, then I would say 4 is the better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 4, nothing you can say with that one. 4 is 4. Yeah. 4 is 4.
And that's nothing been truer ever said than 4 is 4.
4 is 4.
4 is 4.
That on a t-shirt. 4 is 4.
It's 4. All right. With that said, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for the final series franchise for this year. Again, thank you for everyone with the super chats. That was fun. Thank you so much for sending in questions. Again, thank you everyone for the joining us with the rankings, giving us your rankings on where you thought the franchise of the Rambos are, which ones you enjoyed, which ones you hated. We all shared our fun stuff with each of those. Now, going forward, December, I just want to let everyone know, we're not going to rank movies. We're going to do something different. We're just going to hang out, pure hangout, where we're going to talk about our favorite movies of the year. Me and Nate's going to sit down with, I don't know how many guests. We're going to put some people on screen, and we're just going to have a chat around talking about the movies that we enjoyed in the theater.
I want to say right now, even though I don't know if you saw a bunch of movies this year, Jay, you got to come on. We haven't had Jay on in a while. Love to see Jay on here. Scott, you went to the theater. Alex, you went to the theater a lot. So we can actually do a proper
we could
favorite movies of 2025 because you saw a bunch.
Yeah. So we're going to do the final show of the year. We're going to sit down and talk about our favorite films of the year and ones that are upcoming that we're looking forward to. And then we'll give you guys the plan of 2026, what's going to happen in January. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But 2026 going forward for the channel. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, I enjoyed tonight. I always enjoy the series franchise. I enjoy watching the movies and sit down and talk about it because it's always fun to see it from different perspectives. And even when you're laughing at stupid scenes throughout the franchise. If you guys are enjoying the way we break down, we do director spotlight. We're right now doing the Steven Spielberg franchise. Oh, not franchise, but his entire body of work. Yeah, his filmography. So right now we are up to the Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. That's number 11. Every Friday we're dropping a brand new Steven Spielberg review. So coming up is going to be Always. Is it Always? After yeah. So it's Always. Is the next one, and then we just finished filming today Hook. So we broke into the 90s films for Steven Spielberg. So we enjoy doing those. Those are actually really fun. So again, if you guys are enjoying that, that's on the channel. There's a playlist. You guys can catch up with all that, or even you want to watch it, or put your favorite comments on your stuff on Steven Spielberg. You can put them on your favorite episodes. But we're going to be doing all of them, all 34 of them. At the end of the director spotlight, I want you guys to understand, we're going to be doing a live rankings of all 34 films. And while doing so, I'm going to give away all the digital codes of Steven Spielberg movies that I collected. So I started to collect as much of them as possible, but I'm giving away the digital codes that night live. So we'll have a fun night when that happens. It's a long ways from now. It's going to be into next year when we get to that last show, but we're going to be doing that. Then
it's going to be like midway of next year.
Yeah.
If my math is correct.
Yeah, and then we're going to give you the next season 2, which I don't know who it is, but we'll give the season 2. We'll give that away, who it is, and if you guys want to join and participate, you could. But I think that's pretty much it. There's a lot of fun stuff. If you guys are into the 4K physical media stuff, I do reviews every week. I try to put 2 and then 1 members exclusive on Saturdays. This Saturday I didn't put one. It's coming out. Like I said, I have family issues, but that one will be dropping. And then there's going to be more videos, but me and I going to talk about that leading up to next year. Some more exclusive stuff there. Now, that's pretty much it. Anything you want to say, Scott, before we go?
No, thanks for having me. It's always fun.
Our intern.
Intern Scott.
By the way, Scott,
Hold on.
He's one of our interns, meaning he gets no pay, but he helps us do stuff when we ask him to, like a true intern, not a paid internship. I do want to say, Alex touched on it at the top. Action Movie Guys podcast.
Oh yes,
there's still new episodes coming out slowly. Yeah. Well, new to you guys. We recorded them already, but
months ago.
But we will be bringing that back in a slightly different format. Not in the format of the show. The show's the same. 5 categories, same thing. But we will be breaking it into... So right now, we do like a franchise and then like a theme attached to the franchise. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to be kind of expanding that into seasons. And let me tell you guys, I read them to Alex already. Scott, maybe I'll share some with you off when we're done, since you're an intern. Some of them are funny. Like, I feel like they're going to be a lot of fun to break down because they're now going to be seasons, themed seasons. So rather than just like 5 time travel movies, it might be like freaking 18 time travel movies. I don't know yet. So It's going to be good, but we're going to be coming back with that. And like Alex said, we want to just kind of, I went back, even sometimes I'll go back and look at the old shows and they were just so fun. So like, not that these aren't, I love doing the franchise rankings as well, but we don't want to just do this, even though they're fun. Maybe we'll do them periodically. Yeah. You know what? In next September, let's do a franchise ranking as one of our shows. And we might do that, and we might, we'll have a guest. But we want to have more people, like Alex said, like different people come on. You guys, Scott, people who are part of our memberships, and just some other creators, and talk, physical media, because I know that's like a lot of people are into the physical. Obviously, I got a wall of movies. Alex got a steelbooks behind him, and Scott's got we collect movies because we love movies, but we want to also just talk about movies and make you laugh. So I'm looking forward to doing all the different stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, time consuming, but it's fun once everything is said and done, and once everything is done and the air is cleared, everything is fun. So yeah, everything that Nate said, that's what's going to be happening. We'll give the date when we're doing the live in December. So everyone would know. I think it's the second week of December.
It's in the first 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the one within the first 2 weeks. We're gonna maybe do back-to-back weeks. I don't know. We'll figure it out just to end it and just have fun. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Again, Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you
for joining us, Nate.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thank you, everyone.
Please watch the director spotlight shows. They're a little longer. I mean, they're shorter than this. You guys sat here for 2 hours with us. Those shows are all under an hour. They're usually 50 minutes or less, but we've been having a great time doing them. Even if like they're not as big as, 8,000 views or whatever. They're so fun reviewing those movies, breaking them down with our other friend, Evan. And I think for season 2, we might have a different co-host. No shade to Evan, but like we want to mix it up as there as well. Yeah. So once we announce it, maybe we'll talk to some of you guys. Maybe we'll see who wants to throw their name in the ring. I don't know. We'll see.
But, before we sign off, Action Movie Guys, when we're coming back, the videos are going to be seasonals, are going to be videos. So you're going to see everything that we're talking about come to life. See, when you guys hear it on the podcast and we're laughing, we go, remember this scene, that scene? Well, you're going to see that in the YouTube version. You can still take it to go. You're still going to listen to it on the go. But starting in 2026, you're going to have 2 versions of it. You're going to have the video version on YouTube, and then you're going to have the audio version on the podcast. So we're to like 400 and plus, and we're going to do a 500 we're going to do a 500 anniversary. Yeah, we're going to have a big 500 milestone episode too, live. But anyway, with that said, before we leave, there is a chat that came in.
We got to read it.
All
right. We got to read it.
What we got?
Right, let's see. Tony, thank you, Tony. He says, he had a question. Thoughts on the Paramount/Skydance canceling the last Ronnie? I think he means Ronin.
Yeah.
Yep, the last Ronin movie because the new regime didn't want the first live action to be rated R. Okay.
That's Ninja Turtles, right? Well, okay, look, all Ninja Turtles related stuff will go to the guy with the beard. on this side. Oh, well, not that guy in the big beard. Not that guy. Not the guy with the bigger beard. We're going to talk to this
the
guy.
Ninja Turtle himself.
Yes, the turtle himself is going to be Nate. Nate is the turtle Funciano guy. So what do you got on it?
So I think, thoughts. He wants my thoughts. And Alex, you too.
Thoughts.
Yeah. This kind of pisses me off. I'll be honest. This kind of pisses me off. Now, I will say, I will take anything we can get, live action for the Ninja Turtles. I don't need it to be rated R. I don't think they can do The Last Ronin as anything but a rated R movie because it is so violent. It's a very violent story. And it, even like the comic, even though I haven't read the whole thing, I'm familiar, and it's violent. And so they would need to go that route. So on one hand, I'm kind of bummed because I would love to have seen that come to life because it is such a great storyline. On the other hand, I could kind of see them not wanting to jump right out with that, if we're being honest. Because without spoiling it for people who've don't know that story, it would involve a lot of characters being eliminated. And it's kind of hard to then make sequels if, let's say, they want to go that route. So I almost would rather them build up to a Last Ronin movie than it being the first. But I was still kind of looking forward to it. So if they have a good idea for a, PG-13, let's say, live action Turtles, even if it's like a couple and then they do Last Ronin, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
As long as they do it at some point, because it's an amazing storyline.
My 2 cents is when it comes to the Ronin character, I don't even know who the fuck he is. So I'll be like, I know he's Raphael, right? It's Raphael.
No,
is Raphael is the Ronin?
Yeah,
no, it's Michelangelo.
Is Michelangelo?
Right, so I guess minor spoiler. If you don't want to know nothing at all, you could read the comic book. I don't know. The Last Ronin storyline is where all the turtles die. They get killed.
Okay.
And Michelangelo's the last remaining turtle, and he's a Ronin, and he goes for like revenge.
So is he like Hawkeye in the Avengers movie when he's Ronin?
He has like a hat. He has like the samurai, like a
yeah. That's
hat,
what I'm saying. Like he had that
dark. He doesn't wear the orange mask anymore. He doesn't. He's like, and
I kind of like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Yeah, it's an awesome storyline, and like
rated R, rated R, baby.
Gets killed, and they get killed like brutal, like really bad. And then he has one of their weapons each. So he has a nunchuck, he has a sword, he has a stick, and he has a tie.
Okay, yeah. I'll say this: if the studio does like a 4-movie arc that leads into that, like them with the brothers, and then you see them doing the adventures, and then all of a sudden the last 3rd movie he gets killed, and then all of a sudden Michelangelo's like the only one, like he crawls to them like all hurt, and then he's like no, and then there's like no easy way out plays, and then he's like starts. All right.
And I like that they chose Mikey because he's always the goofy, funny character, and now he has to be like the serious one.
Yeah. He could use that line from Darkwing Duck.
Will What the Hall come back? Maybe. I don't know. We don't know yet.
We're gonna in production meeting we'll talk about what could come back when we have the production meeting. But yeah, it might come back. I always enjoyed that one, but I don't know. I don't buy as much like that, but here goes. Travis said before we sign off, he said, haha, like 7 years ago, I had an idea for an older Casey Jones story where the turtles are gone. Oops, I hit the wrong one. It says
taken over by the foot, and he has to go back in time with Kano, Danny, and Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell, he's like that minor character with the white T-shirt in the original movie.
Okay. Trevor says I have the Last Ronin comics. It's a must read. I might have to pick this up.
You might have to get it, Alex. I think you would. As a comic book reader, I think you would actually really like it.
All right. They used the scepter to save the past, while the '90s turtles are sent to the future. So when the Last Ronin
action, that's what I
they
want
stole iPhone notes. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we can sign off. No more chats. Super chats. You should have did this when we were live from the other hour. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much for the super chats. Comes in handy. Thank you so much. Again, guys, have a great day. Have a great week. We'll be coming back soon. Happy
Thanksgiving. Everyone spend some time with your family.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Yes. Don't work. All right.
I work. Don't work.
All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be awesome to each other, guys, and geek out.